Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This game happened in Olympiad last year in September, and definitely this is one of the best games from the women's Chess Olympiad with the white pieces. We have Natalie Kanakova, and with the black pieces we have recent Grandmaster, FIDE World Cup winner, and an absolute genius. We have Divya Deshmukh. So without further ado, let's start with this game. With the white pieces, Natalie starts with e4. We have c6, d4, and d5. We go into the Caro-Kann defense. We have knight to c3, d captures, but we go into the exchange variation and we have knight captures, knight to f6, mostly the main line. But here after knight caps on f6, e captures, and here just knight to f3. We go for the Tatakova variation and we have bishop to d6, but just bishop to d3. We have castles, bishop to g4, and here just c3. And with the structure, you're gonna get the spin most likely, and after a while, once h4 comes, bishop moves back, most likely that knight is going to be remaneuvered. So let's see how Divya does it. We have bishop to c7, h3, and here just bishop to h5, bishop to c2, but now just comes this queen to d5. Very nicely centralizing move. And how are you going to kick that queen out of there? Here queen to d3 was tried, but now just comes this bishop to g6, just attacking the queen and the bishop. And you could trade here after queen to d2, but it's not always good to trade the bishop pair when you're going for an attack and you want to win with the black pieces. So here knight to d7 was played, but just bishop captures, h captures, and this definitely does look weird. I mean, who would want to have a structure like this? But well, if it works, then what's the issue? Here rook to e1, but now just rook f to d8, and here in this position just a very nice move, c4. And here we have queen to h5, definitely just trying to keep on the tension and definitely trying to keep Natalie just a little bit busy in this position where you have to calculate all the lines and what is happening here. Are those pawn push gonna come sooner than you think? And how can you even try to win in this position with the white pieces? But here just bishop to e3, and here we have knight to f8, just trying to remaneuver that knight to this very nice e6 square. And we have rook a c1, we have knight to e6, rook e d1, and just rook to d7, just trying to double up on the d file. We have rook to c3, rook a d8, and just this rook c to d3, queen to f5. And this is absolutely the very critical position of the game where you have to understand that there is immense pressure on the d file. The knight is attacking it, although there is a lot many defense as well. Bishop is nicely slicing through. That bishop is a very strong piece, and pawn structure does look weird, but you have to understand that if it works, then there is no position. But in this position, the queen looks a little bit misplaced in this position. That's what you have to understand, because if in this position you have to find the best move, where do you think, what can you play that will attack the queen? So pause the video and try and find out the only move in this position which gives white a little bit of an edge, little bit takes the pressure off a little bit from the white pieces. And just ask the question, what are you going to do with the queen if I attack the queen? So have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is this spectacular g4. Looks like you're making your king side a little bit weak because this bishop is absolutely strong and you could have some attacks, but it works because here after queen to a5, that is the only square. You have to understand all of these squares are taken. So and this is going to be very much very much annoying. But hey, rook to a3, and now you play queen to b4, king to f1, bishop to f4, but now just comes this rook caps on e7. And after bishop caps on e3, you play f captures, and your pawn structure is here now solid. You don't have to worry about any backward weaknesses. Rook to e7, but here just rook to a3. We have rook d to e8, rook to c3, just trying to double up because this is now going to be a target because that is the weak pawn in the position. Queen to d6, but here just rook to d2, f5, but now just queen to g2, and here just knight to f8. We have g captures, and now here just rook caps on e3. And after rook captures, you'll just once this happens, and you'll get this endgame where it seems like black is holding, white doesn't have any threats in this position. But after g captures and h4, knight to e6, you have to understand that these pawns are going to be very much good, while black will try to push on the king side. Black will have these pawns and a very nice pawn structure, and you're going to push on the queen side. So it could be anyone's game, but it's still with the engine level precision, it should be a draw. But here after queen to f5, we have knight to h4 attacking the queen. But this knight to h4 move just doesn't work because we have this queen to e4, and that queen is very hard to get rid of. And you might be thinking, well, you could just push it, but where are you going to push it? Because you just wasted a tempo with attacking the queen, and now your queen is attacking the knight. So where are you putting the knight? Here queen to g4 was tried, but now if you trade this, but now just f5, an absolutely beautiful move by Divya. Because what do you do in this position? Do you trade? You cannot move it, because if you move, then you lose the knight. So here just queen captures was played, but here just f captures attacking the rook. And now we have rook to b3, but this beautiful knight caps on d4. You lose the pawn, and here bishop captures, rook captures, and rook captures. And now you might be thinking, what does it do? Because you're just down one pawn. Maybe you can still hold this, but that's the thing, that you cannot hold this. That's the issue with this position, because this might seem like an isolated pawn, might seem like a weak pawn, but you cannot hold this. G3, and here this rook caps on c4. Now you're up 2 pawns. Rook caps on b7 was played, but here just bishop to b6, rook to e7, rook to c1 check, and here just king to g2. Rook to c2 was played, but just rook to e8 check, king moves, and here in this position just rook caps on e4. And here we have rook captures on f2, just finally grabbing that that pawn. It was like begging to be captured, but here just we have king to h1. G5 was played, just pushing the knight back. And where are you putting the knight? Here just knight to g2 was played, a defensive move, trying to just keep everything balanced, not get any more checks. But here just rook caps on b2. Now those pawns are going to be gobbled up as well. You'll have two pass pawns, and it's going to be completely losing. Here we have a4, f5, but now just comes this rook to c4, rook to b1 check, king to h2, and we have bishop to g1, king to h1, bishop to f2. We have king to h2, rook to b3, and we have g4, trying to make some breathing room for the king. But now just bishop to g3 check. And now you cannot do anything. So it was on this move, on move 41, Natalie Kanakova resigned the game, and Divya Deshmukh got this spectacular victory in round 2 of Women's Chess Olympiad. I mean, absolutely spectacular play from that f5 move, f4 f4 move. It was absolutely insane. Just getting the rook away, winning on that, just winning the central pawn, and after that the position just absolutely crumbled. Why she resigned? Because there's absolutely nothing to do. Let's say you move the king back, you're gonna get this check. There is no block. This is covered, so you have to block with the knight. Rook captures, and you're just in a completely losing position, and there's nothing you could do. I mean, even if you try and capture this pawn, maybe try and push those pawns, it's just not gonna work out, and it's a completely losing position. She realized this, and she resigned the game. And Divya played this absolute beauty and won the game in just 42 moves. That's absolutely insane. And this is the second time she's winning, so she has 2-on-2 score. Let's see what she does in further in the Olympiad. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.